Okay, folks, welcome back. Excited to dive into this. This one's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've given us some interesting material here for today's deep dive.
Definitely.
All about attracting women without, chasing them.
Right.
Which, I think a lot of guys think about that.
Absolutely.
Like, how can I be more attractive? How can I be more magnetic? And this excerpt that you gave me is called Pasted Text. And it basically talks about shifting your energy and letting women come to you.
Yeah.
Which sounds a little, mysterious.
It does a little bit, yeah.
Like, what does that even mean?
Right.
So
Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's see what you think about this.
Sure. So this idea of not chasing but attracting women is a pretty fundamental shift from the way a lot of dating advice, frames things.
Right, like go out and meet as many women as you can.
Exactly. Like be the aggressor, put yourself out there. But Pasted Text is saying, hey, look at it this way. You attract who you are, not who you're pretending to be. So instead of trying to chase after someone or force a connection, it's about becoming the kind of person that women are naturally drawn to.
Okay, I get that in theory, like the whole be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
But that sounds like something you'd see on a motivational poster.
It does have that ring to it, doesn't it?
How do you actually do that in the real world?
Right.
Like, what does that even look like?
Well, one of the things that the Pasted Text really emphasizes is this idea of owning your confidence.
Okay.
And I think that's where it starts. It's about knowing your worth, being comfortable in your own skin,
Right.
and not needing external validation to feel good about yourself. And he actually gives this really interesting anecdote in the excerpt about how he was at an event
Okay.
and he saw a woman he was interested in, but instead of, hovering around her or trying to monopolize her time, he just walked up, introduced himself, handed her his business card, and then moved on.
Wow. So no cheesy pickup lines, no trying to,
No peacocking.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Just, here's my card, call me maybe.
Pretty much.
That's,
It's a bold move.
it is a bold move.
It is. And I think it speaks to this idea of, self-assuredness without arrogance.
Okay.
Because he's not, begging for her attention. He's not trying to prove himself.
Right.
He's just saying, hey, this is who I am. If you're interested, here's how to reach me.
Interesting.
And, there's actually some science to back this up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there have been studies on first impressions that show that people who project confidence are often perceived as more attractive and trustworthy.
Okay.
So it's not just about attracting women.
Right.
It's about how confidence kind of makes you more magnetic in general.
It's like that aura
Exactly.
that people talk about.
Energy.
Oh, so you're bringing up energy.
I am bringing up energy.
Okay, because that was another thing.
Big part of the Pasted Text, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about, the excerpt talks about energy a lot.
It does.
And how you attract people with your energy. But to be honest, that's where I need some clarification.
Sure.
What are we even talking about when we say energy?
Right.
Am I supposed to be radiating some kind of aura?
I mean, maybe some people do,
Right.
but I think it's more about the vibe you give off.
Okay.
It's the culmination of your body language, your tone of voice,
Yeah.
how genuinely engaged you are in the moment. The excerpt suggests that when you're passionate about your life,
Yeah.
when you have things that excite you,
Yeah.
it shows, and people are naturally drawn to that.
So it's not about faking enthusiasm. It's about actually having things in your life that you're excited about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about pursuing your passions, living authentically.
Yeah.
And, when you do that, you become part of an environment you enjoy. You're doing things you enjoy.
Right.
And that in itself can draw people in.
Okay, I'm with you so far, but let's be real for a second.
Okay.
Even if you have all this confidence and positive energy, rejection is still a possibility,
Absolutely.
right? What if you stop chasing and you focus on yourself,
Yeah.
but then nobody's interested?
Right.
That's got to sting a little bit.
Yeah. And the author doesn't sugarcoat that. He acknowledges that rejection is part of the equation.
Okay.
But the key is not letting it derail you.
Right.
The Pasted Text talks about building resilience.
Okay.
That ability to bounce back from setbacks without losing your self-worth.
There's a saying
Yeah.
about how the most attractive quality in a person is being comfortable in their own skin.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what this is all about. It's not about tricks or techniques.
Right.
It's about genuine self-acceptance.
I think that's a really powerful insight.
Yeah.
And, the excerpt even goes on to suggest that you can actually view rejection as a redirection. Oh, interesting.
Because not every interaction is meant to be a connection.
Right.
Sometimes it's just not the right fit.
Right. And that's okay.
Okay, so to kind of wrap this up,
Yeah.
it sounds like what we're learning here is it's less about mastering some dating playbook and more about mastering yourself,
I like that.
right? Like confidence,
Yeah.
authentic passions, the ability to handle rejection.
Yeah.
That's the real magnet.
I think that's a great distillation of the pasted text.
Yeah.
You know, it's really an invitation to focus on personal growth as the most sustainable path to attracting not just romantic relationships,
Right.
but, you know, meaningful connections in general.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for all of you listening out there,
Yeah.
what aspects of your life
Good question.
could you cultivate to create that magnetic energy?
That's what I want everyone to think about.
That's something to think about, right? And hey, who knows? Maybe a strategically placed business card
Maybe.
might come in handy along the way.
You never know.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks.
Catch you next time.
See ya.